第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストを開催いたします。開会の挨拶、YC 委員会委員長飛田隆ライオン、登壇ください。
皆さんこんにちは。今日はこの暑い中、ようこそ京王プラザホテルにお越しいただきました。ここ数年、特にここのコンテストの状況がすごく上がってきております。3、4年、特に皆さんの実力が著しく伸びてきております。皆さん、特に今回の発表者の皆さん、40名の方から選ばれた精鋭の方々です。そういうことで、平常心で日頃の練習の成果をふんだんに発揮されるよう頑張ってください。これより第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストを開催いたします。
平委員長、ありがとうございました。続きまして地区役員審査員のご紹介となります。 YC 委員会副委員長高橋翔生ライオン、よろしくお願いいたします。
それでは地区役員および審査員のご紹介を申し上げます。本日衆議院議員石原宏高先生が見えてます。衆議院議員東京五反田ライオンズクラブ石原宏高先生。ライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区ガバナー増田正明ガバナー。同じくガバナーエレクト安倍加奈子ライオン。次期第一副地区ガバナー杉原翔吾ライオン。審査委員長のご紹介です。330複合地区元議長、330複合地区 YC 委員会アドバイザー、330A 地区元地区ガバナー名誉顧問河合悦子ライオン。審査員の先生方をご紹介いたします。ミス・レイコン・峯岸様。ミスター・ルーク・マルホートラさん。ミスター・ルイス・アレキサンダー。以上、ご紹介終わります。
ありがとうございました。続きまして東京都知事小池百合子様からビデオメッセージを頂戴しておりますのでご紹介いたします。前方のスクリーンにご注目ください。
皆様こんにちは。東京都知事の小池百合子です。第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストの開催おめでとうございます。ライオンズクラブの皆様は地域社会と人道奉仕におけるグローバルリーダーを目指して活動してこられました。地域に根ざした活動の実践、多大な功績を挙げておられます。一層のご発展、記念を申し上げます。To all the contestants, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government is working to develop the potential of young people such as yourselves to ensure that you can play an active role on the global stage. Society today will require even more interaction across national borders. Through participating in this contest, I hope that you will learn to embrace new challenges and will gain a rich international mindset. I sincerely look forward to seeing you serve as a bridge between your local community and the world. Thank you very much.
素晴らしいメッセージを誠にありがとうございました。続きましてご来賓の皆様よりご挨拶を頂戴いたします。330A 地区地区ガバナー増田正明ガバナー、ご登壇ください。
皆さんこんにちは。
こんにちは。
ただいまご紹介いただきましたライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区東京地区ですが、その責任者ガバナーを拝命しております増田正明です。本日第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテスト開催誠におめでとうございます。ここでライオンズクラブについて少しご紹介させていただきます。ライオンズクラブは世界200カ国、そして140万人のメンバーを擁する世界最大の奉仕団体です。そして先般のトルコ大震災におきましては、私どもメンバーが一人一人駅前に立ち募金活動をして、東京からは総額で1000万円、そして日本全国からは1億以上のお金を直接トルコにお届けしております。直接です。例えば日赤さんが集めたお金は途中の交通費といろいろ取るみたいですけど、私ども 100% お届けするという形になってございます。それがライオンズクラブです。本日の発表の3つのテーマ、素晴らしいものだと思います。その中でも私は私の夢を期待しております。発表の皆様頑張ってください。そして本日のこのコンテストを開催されました、そしてご尽力いただきました河合元ガバナー、そして YCE 委員長であります飛田ライオン、そして委員会の皆様に感謝申し上げまして、私の挨拶に変えさせていただきます。発表者の皆様頑張ってください。
ありがとうございました。続きましてガバナーエレクト安倍加奈子ライオン、よろしくお願いいたします。
改めましてこんにちは。今ガバナーの方からお話がございましたが、私は今期ライオンズクラブ国際協会、東京のガバナーエレクト安倍加奈子と申します。昨年はまたここの場所でこのスピーチコンテストが開催され、その前はコロナ禍でオンラインもずっと続けていらっしゃるこの YC その委員会の皆様、そして本当にご苦労様でございます。我々ライオンズクラブはこういった青少年育成をはじめ、皆様をより輝かすために頑張っています。今日参加の皆様、本当に選ばれた皆様になりますけれども、ぜひこれを機会にライオンズクラブというものを頭の隅に置いていただき、学生会員というものもございますので、今回私のできるライオンズクラブボランティア活動というタイトルもございますが、ぜひそういった思いをこの我々にぶつけていただき、一緒に活動できることを夢に思っております。そしてまた今ガバナーの方からご説明がありましたように、世界中でこのライオンズクラブはつながっています。この奉仕活動ボランティアを通して世界中の学生、世界中の方々とつながっていただけることもぜひ頭に置いていただけるとありがたいです。そしてまた、去年も聞いて思ったんですけど、日本語でも間違える 私がありますが、この英語で自分の思いを伝え、自分の夢を話すことができる、本当に素晴らしい活動だと思っております。どうかこれを機会に世界に羽ばたく日本の一人ということで、これから社会に出てもこの思いを忘れず、世界に羽ばたいていただくことを願っております。今日も楽しみにしております。頑張ってください。
ありがとうございました。続きまして次期第一副地区ガバナー杉原翔吾ライオン、よろしくお願いいたします。
皆様こんにちは。 Good afternoon and good luck。 ただいまご紹介いただきました次期第一副地区ガバナー拝務しております、いわゆる2024年2025年の東京地区のガバナーに責任者になります杉原翔吾と申します。どうぞよろしくお願いします。私が昨年度第2副地区ガバナーの時に初めてここに参加させていただいて、こういう素晴らしい活動をやってるということはすごく心より喜びました。昨日ここに来るためにやっぱりスピーチをちょっと考えました。何を喋ったらいいのかって、妻とちょっと相談したら、じゃあパパが自分の今まで経験したことを喋ればどうかって。私が30数年前にイランから日本に行きました。1992年今の会社を設立し、代表取締役社長をやっています。そして18年前にライオンズクラブに入会し、ここまで第一副地区ガバナーに上がってまいりました。これがなぜここまで来たっていうことは、やっぱり言葉です。日本語を覚えなければ、多分私がこんな高いところから皆さんにご挨拶できなかったと思います。言葉って大事です。今は皆様英語、どこの国行っても、アメリカに行けば英語、フランスに行けばフランス語、どこの国行ってもやっぱりその国の人たちとコミュニケーションを取るのに言葉が必要です。この言葉を上手にしゃべれるということは、その国の文化、そして友達にもなりやすい環境になると思います。ぜひこの英語をね、通じて、世界中とコミュニケーションを取って、自分の言いたいこと、そして相手が言われることをすでにもう理解の上で友達になれれば、そして仕事にもつながって、いい環境で生活できるのではないかって私は信じております。今も本日ちょうどたまたま私の甥っ子がイランから日本に来てたんですけども、明日帰るんですけども、ちょうど今日ここに連れてきました。今我々ライオンズクラブがこういう活動もしてるよっていうことで、本人に見てもらって、イランに行って、そういうことをね、日本人はやってるよって、こういうふうに子どもたちを育ててるんだろうなっていう活動もイランでもできればいいかなと思っております。最後になりますが、もう本当に皆様のますますのご発展とご活躍を記念申し上げまして、私の挨拶を返させていただきます。頑張ってください。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。これよりコンテストに入りますが、その前に注意事項を YC 委員会副委員長伊藤博美ライオンよりご説明させていただきます。
続きまして、発表に対する注意事項を申し上げます。制限時間は5分でございます。で、最初からお名前、学校名、テーマを英語でお話しください。で、5分の間に4分30秒になりましたら鐘が鳴りまして、発表者に30秒ということをお知らせいたします。で、5分になりましたらば鐘が2つ鳴ります。そうしましたらばお話はおやめください。そしてあとは皆様のテーマに対する熱い思いをはっきりと皆さんに伝わるように、どうぞしっかりと発表なさってくださいまして、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、それではコンテストを始めさせていただきます。私の方から日本語でご案内いたしますので、呼ばれた方は演台までお進みください。 その後、どうぞスピーチをスタートしてくださいと申し上げましたら始めてください。委員長も緊張しているぐらいですので、皆さんも緊張はあるかと思いますが、思い切り、やっていただければと思います。それでは始めさせていただきます。エントリーナンバー1番、都立若葉総合高校3年、ザヤスのどかさん。ではどうぞスピーチをスタートしてください。
I'm Nodoka Zayasu from Tokyo Metropolitan Wakaba Sogo High School. I am going to talk about Japan's greatness. I am one of the people who loves Japan the most. I believe that Japan's greatness lies not only in its well-known aspects, such as the environment and culture, but also in its atmosphere, language, and mentality. Therefore, I want to focus on both the visible and invisible aspects of Japan's wonderfulness. First, let's talk about the visible parts. Japan's good environment. I believe that everyone in Japan benefits from its environmental advantages. It is safe to walk along on the streets even at midnight. Moreover, Japan has a well-developed infrastructure, which allows access to clean water anywhere and keeps the cities clean. I personally like the scenery of places where you can see little old Japanese buildings. This scenery is probably preserved by the good environment. Secondly, I find it beautiful that I can feel Japan's original culture. Even today's people can still experience it. For example, the streets of Kyoto. Kyoto has preserved this delicate and beautiful culture through various efforts. Its historical buildings, such as shrines, temples, and tranquil gardens, you will feel as if you travel back in time to ancient Japan. I was fascinated by one of the charms of Japanese gardens called Kare-sansei when I was a child. The sophisticated and lonely atmosphere is beautiful. I still remember making a diorama of it. Next, let's explore the enduring spirit of Japan that shaped this rich and vibrant culture. These are the invisible parts of Japan's greatness. Phrases like Japanese people consider it more shameful to dirty their soul than to lose their life and serve others based on your own sense of justice. I think these words express the mindset of old Japan well. I feel a deep connection to the old Japanese spirits from Bushido. In Bushido, righteousness and courage are considered the most important things. It is also important to calmly accept the present moment and live to the fullest, as well as to commit to your belief to the end. Perhaps only when you can afford to be proud of yourself can you do something for others. The spirit of caring for others has created the atmosphere of Japan today. I love Japan because it is comfortable. The reason for this may be that everyone can respect others. Everyone is sincere and tries to keep to the pace of others. While expressing individuality is common in the world, Japan has a culture of modesty that one doesn't assert to match. At times, Japanese people show tremendous cooperation and work together toward a common goal. Individual values and mindsets create Japan's beautiful atmosphere. Lastly, I would like to touch on the concept of virtue, which is essential for Japanese culture. Japan has long had a perspective of finding value in imperfect or absolute things. There is even art that expresses a deep or dark atmosphere. People tend to pay attention to the bright side, for I think finding virtue in the dark side, which shows struggles of life and humanity, is truly valuable too. I have lived in Japan for my whole life, so I used to think that Japanese values were the norm. However, looking abroad, I have realized that Japan is distinct. In the world that is becoming globalized, it is necessary to convey the true greatness of Japan, as I've described. It is because the introduction of foreign cultures into Japan tends to be put first. Therefore, I want to share with the world the spirit that we are proud of and the beauty of the culture that comes from my country. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。お席にお戻りください。エントリーナンバー2番、都立深川高校2年、テイ・スチョンさん。どうぞスピーチをスタートしてください。
Hello everyone, my name is Jung Soo-jung from Tokyo Metropolitan Fukagawa High School. The title is Anorexia and My Dream. Do you have a dream for the future? What led you to decide on that dream? For many, it may be a wonderful experience. In my case, it wasn't such an experience. A particular illness shaped my dream for the future. It all began in the 5th grade of elementary school when I set my sights on winning first place among the girls in my grade at the annual marathon. To achieve the goal, I dedicated myself to running and muscle training. 2 weeks after starting my exercise routine, I stood in front of the mirror after a bath and was taken aback by the visible muscles in my stomach and the toned appearance of my body. At that moment, I became enthralled with the idea of losing weight. Little did I know that this would mark the start of my battle with anorexia. Driven by my desire to shed pounds, I increased my exercise regimen and restricted my diet. My obsession with losing weight reached its peak during the summer vacation in 6th grade. Apart from eating and sleeping, my entire focus revolved around exercising. When I was eventually diagnosed with anorexia and admitted to the hospital, I found myself unwilling to overcome this disease due to the fear of gaining weight. The mental anguish I experienced surpassed the physical suffering. The fear of weight gain consumed my thoughts and prevented me from abandoning my excessive dieting. There were countless moments when I cried as I felt trapped into an unwanted cycle. There were even instances where I contemplated ending my own life to escape the torment. However, this painful journey paved the way for my dream of becoming a nutritionist. While struggling with anorexia, I saw solace in the books I borrowed from the library on weight loss. Among them, I found particular interest in books about nutrition and food additives. It was through this exploration that I came to realize the unhealthy nature of most processed foods. I began examining the nutritional facts and ingredient lists on food packaging and opened my eyes to the unbalanced nature of these products. As someone who deeply appreciates food, it was disheartening to discover the lack of balance and excessive use of additives in these items. Consequently, my dream emerged to create food products that are low in additives, nutritionally balanced, and capable of bringing joy and peace of mind to individuals on a diet or those concerned about their health. Realizing this dream will not be an easy journey. However, it is precisely the challenges ahead that motivate me to strengthen my foundation of knowledge, which is essential for becoming a nutritionist. By developing food products that are both low in additives and nutritionally well balanced, I aspire to bring happiness and relief to those in need. With this goal to provide assistance to people facing similar struggles, I am determined to embark on this path with unwavering dedication. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございます。エントリーナンバー3番、都立武蔵高校2年、坂口玲香さん。はい、ではスピーチをスタートしてください。
My volunteer work, Tokyo Metropolitan Musashi High School, Reika Sakaguchi. In Japan, like most of the popular tourist destinations in the world, announcements are made in many languages and English information is available everywhere. As I saw and heard these things every day, I assumed that Japan provided enough support and warm hospitality to foreign tourists. Now, let me tell you of the story of how I started my volunteer work. On one winter day, when I was 16 years old, someone behind me said, "Excuse me." I turned around and saw two foreigners, a man and a woman, carrying suitcases. The woman said, "We need to top up this suka to open a coin locker, but we don't have any cash on us. Where is an ATM we can charge on my credit card?" The fear in my head was that my English skill might not be good enough to help them. However, seeing their faces in trouble, I decided to help them and I said, "I will help you." I asked the station staff where an ATM was and took her there. As we walked, the woman asked me several questions, but none which I could answer well. We reached the ATM just when I felt relieved that their problem was solved. And the woman looked back at me and said, "I can't use it." The ATM did not support English. I tried to operate the machine for her, but the tourist card was not accepted. Not knowing what to do, we went to a station counter together. When the woman spoke to the station staff in English, the station staff looked a little hesitant. However, while he occasionally checked with me in Japanese, he spoke to the woman in fluent English. The station staff suggested to me in Japanese, "Why don't you withdraw cash from her tourist card and use that money to charge her suka?" I explained his suggestion to the woman in fluent English, and we went to an ATM outside the station. Finally, they were able to charge their suka. I apologized to them. "I'm sorry, I can't speak English well until now." The woman said, Actually, we approached 3 people and we were turned down until we finally met you. But you helped us even though you think you weren't very good at English. That's very nice of you." The man said to me in Japanese, "Arigato," and smiled at me. I was filled with joy and relieved and smiled without realizing it. From this experience, I learned Japan does not have enough facilities to help foreigners, and that many Japanese people have the skills to help foreigners, but very few Japanese are able to act proactively. I assumed that my English skills would not be good enough to help them, but by acting, I was able to help them with the help of others. What is important is not having perfect English and not having the facilities to overcome the language barrier, but the desire to help. This discovery changed my attitude toward my interaction with foreigners. When the spring came and I was 1 year older,
and I was in front of Cinderella Castle at Disneyland. I saw foreigners who were trying to take a group photo. I gathered up my courage and said, "Shall I take a picture?" Their face lit up. My volunteering is my spontaneous, all-out hospitality to see their smiles. It was the start of my small volunteer work. I wanted to see more smiles. I wanted to continue to do more of my volunteer work. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー4番、都立高島高校2年、田島遥さん。どうぞスピーチをスタートしてください。
My dream, Tokyo Metropolitan Takashima High School. My dream is to eradicate human trafficking from the world. I was born and raised in Japan. My mother is Japanese and my father is Thai. When you think of talent, what do you see? Do you imagine beautiful beaches with coconut trees, golden temples, or maybe spicy Thai food? Thai people are meek and kind. They are always smiling. In fact, Thailand is known as the land of smiles. When I was 7, I visited my father's country for the first time. There, I was exposed to a completely different culture. I remember riding an elephant and watching a crocodile show. The transgender show made the biggest impression on me. It was a glittering performance by transgender dancers. They created a family-friendly attraction very popular among tourists. I enjoyed every moment of my time in Thailand. That wonderful impression of Thailand stayed in my mind until high school when I saw a cartoon published jointly by Shoga Khan and Jaika. It was a story of a girl in Thailand who was deceived and sold to a brothel. It depicted the terrible reality of human trafficking, and I was so shocked that I wanted to know more. As I did my research, I found out Thailand has 3 roles to play in this evil business network. First, Thailand is an exporting country of Thai victims. Second, it is an importing country of victims from neighboring countries in the Mekong region. Third, it is an intermediary in trading victims from Myanmar and sending them off to other countries. I had learned that human trafficking is internationally recognized as one of the major developmental challenges in the world today. When I was reading one article, a scene I had long forgotten suddenly came back to my mind. On the street in Thailand, there was a mother holding a baby in her arms and pleading for money. There were beggars everywhere, and I was scared. My mother whispered, "These people don't speak Thai, brought here on a truck this morning. And they are all from other countries." At that time, I didn't really understand what my mother meant. But now, I do understand. Refugees suffer from their weak positions. There are corrupt organizations that force them to work or beg. Then, the organizations take all the money they earn on the day. The baby I saw that day must be about 10 years old now. Is someone forcing her to beg on the street? Or is she getting forced into prostitution like the girl in the Jaika cartoon?
ILO estimated that 28 million people were trafficked worldwide and forced to work in 2021. I want everyone to know there are people in despair suffering from human trafficking behind the glittering tourist industry and the smiles in Thailand. Thailand is my father's home country and it is important to me. I want people in the land of smiles to live in true peace of mind and true smiles. Now, what can we do to realize a society free from human rights violations? I believe the key to these problems is regulation by the laws and education. Of course, shelters and support for the victims are also necessary. These problems can never be solved by the individual efforts. But right now, as a high school student, I study hard. When I become a university student, I want to go to Thailand to do volunteer work and see it again with my own eyes. My dream is to work for an international organization in the future and to save as many victims as possible from human trafficking. Thank you for listening.
はい、ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー5番、都立小石川中等教育学校4年、松山理央さん。それではスピーチをスタートしてください。
Ryo Matsuyama from Koishikawa Secondary School, Japan's Greatness, Patchwork of Japanese Culture. What are the appealing qualities of Japan? What do you recommend? I can't count how many times I've been asked such questions. As for what Japan's own culture is, I'm at a loss for an answer. Whenever I learn about Japan's history, I realize keenly that my country is more like a patchwork of fallen cultures. Rice, which is rooted in Japan's food culture, characters I write with. So much of Japan's unique culture was originally introduced from other cultures. Considering that, I used to be unable to love Japan with confidence. However, when I studied abroad, I had the opportunity to be an ambassador of Japan's culture and dig deep into its roots. Then I realized how many hands sew the patchwork. Those hands have collected materials, chosen the design, and stitched everything together. Through these processes, fallen cultures are pieced together into Japanese culture. First of all, collecting material. This step doesn't always go smoothly. Most countries tend to hesitate to rely on the fallen cultures because they are proud of their own heritage. On the contrary, Japan has been seeking knowledge throughout the world from ancient times in search of stepping stones to develop as a society. For example, Japan's mission to Tan China and the Iwakura mission. Learning from others in a humble manner, showing respect for outside communities, I think this facet of the Japanese spirit promoted the import of foreign cultures. The second step is choosing the design. Over a long history, foreign cultures from different backgrounds have consistently come into Japan. Despite this, the present-day culture of Japan suits its social climate and does not feel out of place. This shows Japan had been making sure to retain its own style. I attribute this to the self-conscious personality of the Japanese. Unless it becomes excessive, self-awareness allows one to balance the humility to learn from others while retaining one's identity. Finally, after curating, Japan molds foreign cultures according to Japanese tastes. The Japanese spirit of professionalism encouraged us to highlight the qualities of those foreign cultures that are best suited for Japan. Japan is known for its hospitality, seen in each good deed and every action of customer service. In addition, in instant noodles, in disposable heat bags, and even in emojis, we can see how Japanese people's desire to please has accelerated product refinement. Therefore, foreign cultures which have come into Japan have been fine-tuned constantly by professionals to keep up with customer demand. These 3 steps I have described, collecting, choosing, and stitching, are composed of Japanese characteristics which fit each other miraculously. An attitude based on harmony enabled Japan to take one big step forward. A self-reflecting consciousness allowed Japan to find aspects of its identity in foreign cultures, and the spirit of professionalism empowered Japan to refine foreign cultures in pursuit of the best fit for its people. Considering this, I have come to realize that the patchwork Japanese culture I once thought unoriginal is actually wonderfully unique, even though each piece of cloth has roots in other cultures. It would be disrespectful to the spirit of Japan that lives within me if I were to only bemoan the future of Japan. If the present situation is not the best it can be, learn, reflect, make it better. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー6番、都立竹野台高校3年、清水きらさん。はい、ではスピーチをスタートしてください。
I'm from Takenodai High School. My name is Kira Shimizu. I want to talk about my dream. My dream is to become a translator. A translator translates text, images, and songs expressed in foreign languages into other languages such as Japanese. I would like to help convey the thoughts and feelings of people and the world by translating their words. Have you ever seen a scene where the thoughts of people and around the world are united? I have had that opportunity. Today, anyone can send a video to the world. I often watch music videos, especially Vocaloid songs. Vocaloid is a voice synthesizing software, and musicians who use it to create music are called Vocaloid producers. Coincidentally, there is another Vocaloid producer who goes by the same name as me, Kira. His song Highlight had a big influence on me. This song was written for an international event called MIC Expo. The event has been held in Jakarta, LA, and other cities around the world. But due to the new coronavirus, it was held online in 2021. Through listening to the music, I learned music has the power to unite people's feelings across borders. The comment section for the song Highlight contains the thoughts and feelings of people from all over the world. I felt the energy of people moving forward from those who cried because they were touched by the song, to those who expressed hope for the corona disaster. Actually, this song was designed by creators from 4 different countries: Japan, Germany, New Zealand, and Russia. It was a sight to see creators from all over the world working together to produce a work of art, and people from different countries seeing it and uniting their hearts. I was moved by the realization that we can understand each other, even though we were born in different places and speak different languages. As I read the comments, I realized how inaccurate Google Translate is. I think it is important to be able to correctly convey what you want to say in order to understand the other person. It also makes us more aware of our connection. I cannot write songs or sing. However, I have a strong sensitivity and a talent for believing in myself and continue to work hard. I would like to use my talents as a translator to help connect and unite everyone's thoughts and feelings. My dream is to be a part of creating something that brings joy to others by being not only a viewer, but also a communicator. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー7番、都立隅田川高校2年、米川亮さん。はい、それではスピーチをスタートしてください。
My name is Ryo Yonekawa. I'm from Sumidagawa High School, and I'm going to talk about volunteering I can do. These days, when we watch news about developing countries, sometimes there are reports of people participating in many volunteer activities in those countries. In such a time, do you think it is impossible for me to do the same, and you have given up on the idea of volunteering? When I was younger, I thought that there was no volunteer activities I could join Japan. However, once you look around, you can find plenty of volunteering. I realized that there are volunteer opportunities close at hand. Let me tell you about some activities I have undertaken. One of the things I did was help Shoes for Africa. This is a project to deliver shoes to children in Zambia. When I was in elementary school, I used to take my shoes and clothes to the department when I went to the department store with my family. There are children who cannot go to school because they have no shoes and clothes to wear. Many children die because of sickness and diseases. So, by donating my shoes and clothes that I can no longer wear, I can help them. If many people do this, we can increase the number of children who are able to go to school and improve their lives. I remember the bright smile of the children in the video who put on their shoes and jumped thanking the donators. My heart was filled with the thought that my actions can change someone's life for the better. For me, this experience was very special and important because it sparked my interest in volunteering. Volunteering is something that not only brings a smile to others' faces, but also to my own. For these reasons, I want as many people as possible to experience volunteering. The second activity is using less electricity. Developing country is vulnerable to climate change due to global warming. Therefore, we can indirectly contribute to them by using less electricity. For example, unplugging outlet frequently, setting air conditioner to 28 degrees in the summer, and closing the curtain to retain heat in the winter. Now, I am planning to give a presentation at the culture festival with the goal of letting people know that volunteerism is close to hand. Specifically, I'll be presenting the current situation in developing countries and volunteer activities that we can do. Also, I'll be promoting fair trade chocolate to let people know that it is one of the bigger volunteer activities we can do. Also, I hope to increase the number of people who are interested and involved in volunteer activities. Many people may feel that volunteer developing countries and volunteer activity is things far away from themselves. However, even small effort can be made right now in our daily life, such as turning off lights or unused electricity frequently, and donating clothes that we don't wear anymore. All of these are good ways to volunteer. Volunteering can also help us more feel connected to the world and many things around us, and to live a more fulfilling life. Why don't you start by doing something simple around you with the intention of helping those in need and being a service to society? Thank you for listening.
はい、ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー8番、都立隅田川高校2年、渡辺遥さん。はい、それではスピーチをスタートしてください。
Hello everyone. I am Tanabe Haruka from Tokyo Metropolitan High School. I will keep on running to my dream, even if I fall, get injured, or hurt. This passage has influenced my life. It is a lyric from a song. When I listened to it for the first time, I couldn't understand the meaning of lyric because it was in Korean. I was impressed by music and vocals only. When I saw Japanese translation, I was moved by the message of the song. The song made me want to be a singer-songwriter. I eagerly want to deliver a message with my song and encourage people with my lyrics. When I worried about relationship and my future, I always remember a different lyric. We will have more good days than bad days from now on, whatever happens. It tells me that we don't have to be seriously worried in life. We will have more good days in future. I want to write a song and deliver it to as many people as possible to ease their heart. I wrote my own lyrics for them. It's not a bad thing to feel down. The day that you laugh bottom of your heart must come. I have been helped by music many times. Music has always been my side and has even saved me a lot. But this time, I want to be a person who helps someone with music and push their back saying, "What is your true dream that you want to make true? Believe in yourself and take a step forward towards your dream." My 17-year-old dream is to stay close to people who cannot step forward to do the thing they really want to do and to support those who need it. With my lyrics, I need to express my feelings and sing abundantly. Otherwise, I cannot convey my true message. To do so, I read books to learn various kinds of Japanese expression from different angles. In addition to delivering with different ways, I use a dictionary to look up the proper expression. Even with good lyrics, without sympathy for the character of the song, I cannot move the listeners. Even a tiny thing such as reading novels or movies helps me to experience new things. I try looking into myself when I feel sympathy and I'm moved and express it with words. This will lead understanding emotions more clearly. I will make efforts to realize my dream to become a singer-songwriter. That is my 17-year-old dream. I will make my dream come true. I will see you on the stage someday. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー9番、都立広尾高校1年、水尾小花さん。はい、どうぞスピーチをスタートしてください。
My name is Kohana Mizuo from Tokyo Metropolitan Hiro High School. My topic is the wonderful point of Japan. What do you think are the wonderful points of Japan? Is it Japanese food, historical wooden buildings, the rich nature, or humidity and politeness? There are a lot of wonderful points in Japan, so I think there's no end once you start listing them. Defining a good point of Japan is difficult because it is abstract. But in my opinion, I think one of the most wonderful points of Japan is the diverse culture created by combining what is unique to Japan and what has been transmitted from abroad. There are countless traditions and cultures around us in our daily lives, both visible and invisible. An example of what is visible is cups. The cup was introduced from foreign country, the Netherlands, in the Edo period, and it was called koppu, which then developed into a unique Japanese glasswork such as Edo kiriko. The glasswork has become a craft in various places, mainly in Nagasaki, where there was trade with foreign country. We have the visible cup, but what about the invisible aspects of traditions and cultures? An example of this is the Japanese spirit of hospitality, omotenashi. Omotenashi is derived from the word omote-nashi, which means not two-faced or honest, and it is a proud Japanese culture known around the world. This tradition was born from the tea ceremony relationships around the Heian period. The tea ceremony was originally introduced to Japan from China in the Kamakura period. The culture of enjoying tea in China and the ritual culture from Japanese then thought were fused, and then it was transformed into a distinctive tea bath unique to Japan and separate from China. There are countless traditions. The culture we live in today was developed through not only a combination of things, but also people who have been fused with a wide variety of ideas. Since ancient times, the following cultures have entered Japan, and Japan has added to their own cultures, adjusting and integrating to various situations. Japan has had to coexist with new people of different cultural identities, ideals, and beliefs. Through this, they have built a stronger civilization. For example, don't you think that a team will be better and well-balanced if each member has different strengths? Acknowledging each other's differences increases the abilities of the group of people. In this way, there is a deep connection between culture and people. Through including various situations, Japan can create a stronger civilization. For these reasons, I think that the diverse culture that has been changed from fusion is one of the most wonderful points of Japan we should be proud of. From now on, it will be an era where more diversification is emphasized. It is more important for everyone to blend their thoughts and intentions with each other. No matter how great Japan is today, as long as we, who will be responsible for the future society, do not make it better, that wonderful culture will slow down and become thing of the past. History proves that Japan's unique culture was born from the fusion of different cultures. Let's recognize others, recognize different cultures, and further develop Japan. When the differences of each person are gathered and fused, we can create our own culture. Why don't we teenagers work together and develop a great and diverse culture of Japan? In 10 years, we will see new and more wonderful points of Japan. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー10番、都立国際高校3年、清中有沙さん。はい、それではスピーチをスタートしてください。
Make the world equal 東京メトロポリタン国際ハイスクールアリシャ・清中。My dream is to make everyone on earth become fellows and have equal rights and chances regardless of gender or age. To be specific, I want to become a member of the United Nations and work to eliminate discriminatory laws or habits around the world. Also, I want to contribute to the world where goals number 10 in SDGs, reduce inequality within and among countries, has been realized. I first got interested in global issues when I was in 6th grade, when I hadn't had any friend who had roots in other countries, and I started to seek my identity as a person who is mixed Japanese and Sri Lankan. One day, I found a book about a girl in Sri Lanka who works at a tea plantation every day for her family and can't go to school. I was strongly shocked by this book, because I noticed that there is such a hard situation in Sri Lanka where my father was born, and how lucky I was to have this favorable environment. And I wondered why there are so many inequalities in this world. Last year, I had a chance to participate in a debate about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, held by Iwanami Publishing Company. During the discussion, one student insisted that even when the war ended, Russians and Ukrainians would not be able to be friends. And I told her that how people would feel about it, especially those who are mixed Russian and Ukrainians. I imagined a war breaking out between my parents' countries, and when I think about that, my heart ached so much that I almost cried. At this time,
I found that conflict like war or resentment are heartbreaking, especially for people who stand on borders. And I decided to work to make the world borderless. You may know that there are many inequalities and conflict around the world. There are countries where children are forced to become fighters, or many girls are pregnant in their teens. Have you ever heard the fact that just 1% of the richest people in the world have 33% of world's wealth? The victims of inequalities are often children, women, and disabled people. And when we look around the world, there are many situations in which human rights are not protected for everyone. For example, some women are isolated when they are on their period, or child labor is commonplace. And I think these situations should be solved as soon as possible. After I graduate from high school, I'm going to major in development studies at a university in the UK that has many foreign students. And I want to think about the action for a national society with motivated students from all over the world. And I want to find the things that I can do as a bicultural person. The first step is to broaden my knowledge, doubt what I think is normal, and search for what I don't know. However, the most important thing is to raise my voice. During the discussion held by Iwanami Publishing Company, one student said my opinion was impressive. My voice was heard. I can spread the opinion and thought of minorities through my speech. To ensure that everyone's voice is heard, to ensure that everyone has equal freedom regardless of gender, age, or nationalities, I make my best effort to make this world beautiful as I want to. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー11番、都立武蔵高校2年、赤塚陽太さん。ではスピーチを始めてください。
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Yota Akatsuka from Tokyo Metropolitan Musashi Senior High School, and I am going to talk about the volunteer works that I can do. So everyone, I want to do volunteer work, but I don't know where to start. Is there anyone who has thought so? Oh, thank you. I had thought so at first, don't worry. I didn't know enough about volunteering. However, through a volunteer program prepared by my school, I learned that I should be willing to do what I thought of trying. Now, among the many volunteers, the experience I will tell today is about learning support volunteers. This volunteer program was the first program that my school prepared, and it was also my first time volunteering. Time goes back about 10 months ago. And when I was first grade in high school, during the summer vacation, I was given a volunteer work to participate in under the pretext of service experience activities. I decided to participate in learning support as a certain junior high school for 3 days for that. At the time, I had never volunteered, so I was worried. However, on my first day as a volunteer, it was not as hard as I thought it would be. Moreover, it was a lot of fun, and it was a great experience. And I learned that doing volunteer work is very fun. I still clearly remember that some children gathered around me and said "thank you" in Japanese, and how happy I was at the time. The 3 days passed very quickly, and I strongly feel that I want to do this volunteer work more and more. Apropos, during winter vacation, I voluntarily participate in a learning support at an elementary school, a little far from my home, about 3 days again. Although the study was not difficult, however, I was able to learn a lot here as well. And furthermore, I had a lot of fun again. These volunteer activities also made me realize that I love working with children and teaching others. And I also thought that whether I should become a teacher in the future. The story of my experiences end here. Learning support volunteers are very good volunteers who can take advantage of what they have learned so far. They can feel free to participate and have fun, learn a lot, and expand their potential. If you're interested in volunteering, you search for learning support volunteers. You can find school that will welcome you, so please check it out. So it is important, sorry, to please hear me. High school students have as many opportunities as adults. And even if we can do it now, the achievements of learning and experiencing through volunteering should be greatly connected our future. Sorry, there are many volunteer activities that we can do, and many of them are easy to participate in. Participating in volunteer activities while still in high school will give us the experience that we can only get there, and like I did. And it will be very useful in your future life. Finally, do you remember the question I asked you at the beginning of my speech? So please wake up your memory about 4 minutes ago. Have you ever thought, I want to do volunteer work, but I don't know where to start? What is your answer? My answer is that you should start with what you thought of trying. In my case, my school and my teacher gave me the opportunity. But if you look up volunteering on the internet and try whatever you think is good, you may be able to make the discoveries like me. On that note, if you're even a little bit interested, why don't you participate in volunteer activities that you can do it now? There should be a lot of volunteers opportunity that you can do it yourself around you. I will give a word last. Now is the time. Let's do it. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。エントリーナンバー12番、都立小松川高校2年、鈴木和田さん。ではどうぞスピーチをスタートしてください。
Hello, I'm Kazuta Suzuki from Tokyo Metropolitan Komatsugawa High School. My theme is my dreams and responsibilities. I have a dream. I have a dream to get helping people in need around the world and bring smiles to their faces and hearts. What sparked me? It was a trip to Cambodia when I was 10 years old. I was hit by thunder when I saw children working for their families instead of going to school. As their ages supposes the same as mine. Then, when I went to Bangkok, what I saw there was almost same. There were some pairs of children and mothers silently sitting on the steps of pedestrian. Even in the hustle and bustle of the big city, I felt deep silence from mothers holding her child who was sleeping comatose. It was hard to accept the realities lying in me ahead. It reminded me how I lived in a stable environment. Through this experience, I began to think and act what I could do to make their living environment better, to help people break out of the poverty loop. Then I decided I'd like to work for international cooperation to help to support such people to such people. For example, provide them of interest-free scholar system. It possibly allows children born into poor families to attend the school. And the other one is developing products and establish a sales network that matches the characteristics of the region. To achieve my dream, there are two things I'm working on. First, I'm joined in English debate contest to improve my English speech skills. For example, to get used to English as much as possible, I change the sentence I usually speak into English in my head and practice speaking freely as I do in Japanese. I also try not to English is a study subject, having fun to know more about English like me. I sometimes make mistake because English is not my native language, but I realized that I could learn a lot from such mistake. Second, I try to learn about foreign cultures. Knowing about the other cultures allows me to have more enjoyable conversation with them. It also helps me avoid rude behavior. For example, the noisy slurping is unique to Japanese culture, but it's considered that rude by people from other countries. As mentioned above, I trained on two issues to make my dreams come true. When I decided to do any of these things, I will concentrate on it with my best effort. However, I often face difficulties and realize that I'm not good enough, or I feel like giving up or quitting. But the sense of accomplishment makes me feel I have grown. Also, it is indicators that will lead me to new goal. Every time I got energy, such experience for moving forward with hope. I would like to be king of my dream, always remembering that there are people in the world who can do what they want to do. I strongly believe we can lead this world toward a better direction by collaborating with them, and I am one of the responsible. Thank you for your kind attention. That's all.
スピーチは以上となります。発表者の皆さんへ改めて大きな拍手をお願いいたします。はい、ありがとうございます。それではこれより審査員は別室で審査に入ります。審査員の皆様、別室へご移動をお願いいたします。はい、では続きまして、2019年の夏季派遣生山田真彩さんの、体験談を、山田さんにお話しいただきます。山田さん、ご登壇をお願いいたします。皆様、温かい拍手でお迎えください。
皆さん、こんにちは。私は山田真彩と申します。まず YC 派遣プロジェクトに参加させていただいた経緯なんですけども、私の父が八王子ライオンズクラブのメンバーでして、そこからお話をいただいて実際派遣させていただきました。私が派遣したのは高校1年生の夏、今から4年前にサンフランシスコに派遣させていただきました。私はそんなに話が皆さんのように上手ではないので、気軽に聞いていただければなと思うんですけども、今日皆さんに伝えたいことは大きく2つありまして、1つは YCE を通して私自身変われたことを2つお話しして、もう1つはもし行くチャンスをつかんだ方にアドバイスを
一つさせていただければなと思います。一つ目は、一つ目の YCE を通して変わったことは、語学力向上にかなりつながったなと思っております。当時の私の語学力は英検準2級2回落ちました。その当時に笑ってください都立受験にも落ち、勉強に向いていないなって自分自身すごく自信をなくしていて、そんな中で、サンフランシスコに派遣しても、自分じゃないんじゃないかなってすごく自信がなくなっていた時期に実際にアメリカに行って、いろんな世界を見ました。案の定もちろん向こうのホストファミリーにはあんまり通じないし、もう分からないし、コミュニケーションがすごく難しかったんですけど、向こうのホストファミリーの方がすごく優しく私に伝えようとしてくれてるのを分からないのがもどかしくて、分かりたいし伝えたいっていう思いがすごく芽生えて、それはこの今の私の大学受験にもの英語の勉強のモチベーションにもつながって、今は無事大学に入って勉強に励むことができています。2つ目は将来にやっぱりつながったということです。私は当時、福祉関係の仕事にすごく興味があって、将来その仕事に就きたいなと考えていたんですけども、アメリカではやっぱり格差が、日本よりもすごくて、私が目にしたのは路上で5歳ぐらいの男の子が段ボールにヘルプって書いた紙を段ボールを持って路上にお父さんと2人で座っていたという光景を実際目にして、もう肌でそういうのを感じて、全ての子供が幸せであるべき世界で自分って何ができるんだろうなって今もすごくその光景を目にすると、自分の福祉に対する熱とかが湧き上がってきて、人生のモチベーションになったなっていうのはすごく感じています。そうですね、今皆さんは将来私のように福祉ではないかもしれない、福祉ではないと思うんですけども、福祉に限らず新しい世界を見ることでものすごい大きな力、ステップになるんではないかなと思うので、そうですね、 YC に参加して本当に良かったなと感じています。そうですね、そして2つ目、もし行くチャンスをつかんだ方にアドバイスとしましては、何か小さな目標を持って行っていただけたらなと思います。例えば私の一緒に YC に参加した男の子だったんですけども、その子は少し髪の毛が伸びていて、現地で美容院に行ってみたいという目標を持って来たようなんですね。で実際に自分で注文して、すごいさっぱりしてすごくいいなって思ったので、そういった小さな目標を持ってたりして行っていただければなと思います。最後に、皆様にやっぱりもう一度伝えておきたいことは、新しいものを見て積極的に自分から飛び込んでいくことってすごく大切だと思うので、ぜひチャンスをつかんで海外行っていただけたらなと思います。あと一つだけ、偶然をすごく大切にしてほしいなと思います。私は何度もアクシデントにあって最悪だってすごい思ったんですけども、それってすごくプラスなことで、乗り越えることでものすごい成長できるなって思っていて、だから例えば出てきたもう得体の知れない魚を絶対臭いし食べないじゃなくて一口食べてみるとか、そういう小さな乗り越えがすごく力になると思うので、ぜひ、何でも今生きていてもそういう小さなことを逃げないで乗り越えるっ っていうことを大切にしていただければなと思います。こんな感じで大丈夫でしょうかすいません、体験談していただきます。ありがとうございました。
はい、山田さんありがとうございました。本当に貴重な体験談でしたね。発表者の皆さんの将来にも参考になったのではないかと思います。はい、以上で一部が終了となります。ここで、約30分間のですね休憩タイムとなります。第2部の表彰式は16時より始まりますので、それまでには元いたお席にお戻りいただければと思います。ありがとうございました。ただいまより表彰式を始めさせていただきます。まずはプレゼンターの皆様のご紹介をさせていただきます。お呼びいたしますので、前方左手にお並びいただきます。衆議院議員東京五反田ライオンズクラブ所属石原宏隆様。330A 地区ガバナー増田正明ガバナー。YC 委員会委員長飛田隆ライオン。YC 委員会審査委員長河合悦子ライオン。それでは各賞を発表いたします。お名前を呼ばれましたら順番に壇上までお上がりください。まず第1位からの発表です。第1位、東京都知事賞、清中ありささん。清中さん、壇上にお上がりください。
賞状、東京都知事賞、清中ありさ様。あなたはライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区、YCE 委員会主催の第18回、青少年英語スピーチコンテストにおいて優秀な成績を収められました。よってここにその栄誉をたたえ、これを表彰いたします。令和5年6月17日、東京都知事小池百合子、おめでとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございました。はい、ご登壇お願いいたします。はい、お席お戻りいただいて大丈夫です。はい、第2位の発表をさせていただきます。330A 地区ガバナー賞、田島遥さん。ご登壇ください。
地区ガバナー賞、田島遥様。あなたはライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区 YC 委員会主催の第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストにおいて優秀な成績を収められました。よってここに栄誉をたたえ、これを表します。令和5年6月17日、ライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区地区ガバナー増田正明、おめでとうございます。私の夢に向かって頑張ってください。
おめでとうございます。はい、続きまして第3位の発表です。330A 地区 YCE 委員長賞、テイ・スチョンさん。
賞状 YC 委員長賞テイ・スチョンソン。あなたはライオンズクラブ国際協会330A地区 YC 委員会主催の第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストにおいて優秀な成績を収められました。よってここに栄誉をたたえこれを称します。令和5年6月17日ライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区 YC 委員会委員長日田隆。
おめでとうございます。残り9名の発表者の皆様には、それぞれ奨励賞をお渡しさせていただきますので、順次お名前をお呼びいたしますので、ご登壇いただければと思います。お呼びいたします。ザヤスのどかさん、坂口玲香さん、松山理央さん、清水きらさん、米川亮さん、渡辺遥さん、水尾小花さん、赤塚陽太さん、鈴木和太さん。はい、ではすみません、審査委員長よろしくお願いいたします。はい、順番
あなたはライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区 YCE 委員会主催の第18回青少年英語スピーチコンテストにおいて優秀な成績を収められました。よってここに栄誉をたたえこれを称します。令和5年6月17日ライオンズクラブ国際協会 330A 地区審査委員長河合悦子。はい、おめでとうございます。次は坂口玲香様、文章は同じですので、はい、奨励賞をお取りください。はい、おめでとうございます。はい、文章は同じです。松山理央様、はい、おめでとうございます。次は奨励賞清水なんてキラ字が読めないと奨励賞清水キラ様、おめでとうございます。続きまして同じく奨励賞川亮様、はい、おめでとうございます。奨励賞、文章は同じです。渡辺遥様、はい、おめでとうございます。それでは同じく奨励賞、水尾小花様、はい、おめでとうございます。 まして同じく奨励賞赤塚陽太様、はい、おめでとうございます。続きまして、奨励賞鈴木和太様、おめでとうございます。
すみません、皆さんおめでとうございます。ちょっと9名の発表者の皆さん、このままちょっとお待ちいただけますか。実はですね、本日来賓のガバナーエレクト、安倍かな子ライオンと次期第一副地区ガバナーの杉原翔吾ライオンから、特別賞がそれぞれ、ございます。じゃあお二人前の方にご登壇お願いいたします。
本当に今日は皆さん素晴らしくて、もう毎年毎年レベルがアップしていて素晴らしいなと感動しておりました。で、今日皆さんいろいろな賞をいただいたと思うんですけれども、私からは日本の素晴らしさについてスピーチいただきました、広尾高校の水尾小花さんに差し上げたいと思います。もうここにこの方に関しましては互いを認めて、一人一人違う強みを生かしてそれをチームに作るということで、日本語で訳したものを拝見させていただきましても、我々大人も本当に気づきもたくさんあり、素晴らしいスピーチだったなと思いました。心からおめでとうございます。
はい、私からエントリーナンバー11番赤塚陽太さん、はい、どうぞ。ありがとうございます。おめでとうございます。この子に関して私がいろいろ話聞いたんですけども、とっても上手で、ぜひ高校卒業していい大学行ってうちの会社に営業に来てほしいんですよ。年間2億ぐらい多分売り上げ上げてくれると思いますので、よろしくお願いしたいと思います。頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。
はい、それでは、皆さんご講談をお願いいたします。はい、おめでとうございます。では続きまして、衆議院議員石原宏高様よりご挨拶をお願いいたします。石原議員、お願いします。
Hello everybody, my name is Hirotaka Ishihara. I am a fifth times parliament member, the member of House of Representative. From now on, I'm speaking in Japanese. 今回ですね、18回目の、青少年スピーチコンテストにですね、皆さん参加いただきましてありがとうございます。本当に素晴らしいですね、若い皆さんの、スピーチだったというふうに思います。少し、河合ライオンの方からですね、話していいということで、私もですね、実はその英語を一生懸命始めたのは大学1年生、皆さんも高校生ですけども大学1年生だったんですが、大学1年生にボストンに留学をしまして、その頃はですね、携帯電話がなかったんで、この普通に壁にかかっている電話機から25セントを入れて、でそのことをコレクトコールっていうのがあったんですけども、どこどこにつないでくださいってオペレーターに言うとつないでくれて、料金は親持ちみたいなのがあったんですが、全然通じなくてですね、で何を言ってるか全然オペレーター分かんなかったんですが、最後にオペレーターが I cannot help you と言ったのはですね、しっかりと聞こえまして、そこからですね、デルタンデレ塾なんかもまたやりまして、少しのレベルにはなりました。で皆さんに伝えたいのは、私 銀行員もやってたんですが、ニューヨークでですね、レバレッジッドリースというのとですね、英語のドキュメンテーションもありました。これから皆さん大学そして社会人になっていくと思いますけども、ぜひですね英語を仕事に活用しながらですね、この皆さんキャリアを積んでいっていただきたいと思います。そして実は2013年から14年にかけて私ですね外務省の、外務大臣政務官を務めておりました。多少ちょっと片言の英語ができるので非常にですねこのあとおじさんで悪いんですがタバコを吸うんですがタバコタイムっていうのがありまして、例えばボリビアに行った時にですねボリビアのその時は共産党の政権でアメリカの鉱山をボリビア政府がですね没収しちゃったんですね。でタバコタイムで、外務次官とですねタバコを吸いながら、その時住友商事がですねやっぱり鉱山を持ってたんで、その外務次官にと話をしながらタバコを一緒に吸いながらですね、日本の住友商事の鉱山は没収しないでねって言ったら、いや石原さんそんなことしないよというような話もですね、会話をしました。またもう亡くなってしまったんですがフィリピンのですね今マルコス大統領なんですが、その前の秋の大統領と非常に親しくしておりまして、秋の大統領はお酒を飲まないんですが、日本に来た時にですねタバコを吸うもんですから、やっぱりタバコの部屋に2人で行ってですね英語で話をして、でその時何を話したかというと、自分はリラックスのためにですね、スカイラインが日本の日産のスカイラインが好きで、スカイラインを運転して4時間かけて自分の選挙区に戻るんだというような話を聞きながらですね、一緒にタバコを英語で話しながらやってました。またあとですね、ぜひですねこれは日本政府が外務省が六本木の飯倉交換というのを持っています。でここでですね、各大使を招いたり、海外からのいろんな要人が来るとですね、そこで食事をしたり、レセプションをしたりするんですけども、そういうところでもですねもう英語を話しながら、面白かったのは昔はですねその飯倉交換の中に、このスモーキング部の喫煙ルームがあったんですが、この世の中の流れでなくなっちゃいました。でどこも吸えないのかなと思ってどっかありますかって聞いたら、玄関の前にちょこっとですね灰皿が置いてあって、そこでレバノンの大使なんかとタバコを吸いながら、そしたらレバノンの大使がですね、石原さんこの灰皿何であるか知ってるって言われて、何でですかって言ったら、ロシアのラブルフ外相がですねタバコを吸うんで、ラブルフ外相のためにこの飯倉交換の前に灰皿が置かれたんだというような話もですね聞いて面白いなと思いました。何が言いたいかというとですね、先ほども杉原さんが話がありましたが、やっぱりコミュニケーションのツールとしてですね英語があるといろんなですね面白い話を聞けます。私は外国人の方とですねお酒を飲みながら英語で話すのが好きなんですが、ぜひですねブラッシュアップをして、先ほどドキュメンテーションの話をもしましたけども、英語をビジネスにも使ってほしいし、英語でですね多くの世界の方々とコミュニケーションをとってですね、皆さんの知識を広げていって、そして日本のためにですね活躍をするような人材になっていただければと思います。少し長くなってしまいましたけども、本当に素晴らしいですね18回目の青少年英語スピーチコンテストだったと思います。本日はご参加いただきましてありがとうございました。
石原議員ありがとうございました。では続きまして、河合悦子審査委員長から総評をよろしくお願いいたします。
はい、本日は皆様ご参加いただきましてありがとうございました。私今石原宏隆氏から英語ベラベラなんですかさっきもお話ししてましたけれどね、英語を今日はスピーチですけれども、やはりね英語をしゃべるように自由にしゃべり、そして、日本語と同じようにしゃべるようになるのは大変だと思います。でスピーチはやはりね程度も非常に最近高くなってきておりましてね、学校での私も昔英語教師をしたことがありますけれどもね、その頃と違って先生方のね英語への教育が違っているのかなって思うぐらい、皆様今日スピーチをしてくださった方々のレベルは毎年のように上がってきます。でこれから英語を自由に使えるようになるようには、またね会話とスピーチは違います。で、 会話ができるようになり、海外との交流もね自由にできるようになったらば、生徒さんたちもね素晴らしい経験をできるようになると思いますので、頑張ってくださいね。私が、19年前に実は石原慎太郎知事のアワードが欲しくて都庁に通い詰め、そして、その時に都知事の賞状をね得ました。それからこんなに長く続くとは思っていなかったんですけれども、こんなに長く続きまして、それは委員会の方々の努力もありますけれども、このようにきっちりと進めて、今日も無事に終了することができたのがとても嬉しいです。スピーチコンテストは他の地区でもやって、今日加藤ライオンいらしてるんですね。手を挙げてください。B 地区は馬車道クラブでおやりになりましたね。そうですね。で A の場合はクラブではなくキャビネットとして展開しております。どうぞこれからもご協力を賜りますように。そして今日出場した登壇なさった生徒さんたちはね、今日を非常に良い記憶に残し、どんどんね英語力を高めていかれることを心から祈っております。どうぞ頑張ってくださいね、皆さん。はい、今日はありがとうございました。
はい、河合審査委員長ありがとうございました。閉会の言葉、YC 委員会委員市川明恵ライオンお願いいたします。
皆様、この度はライオンズクラブ第18回 YC 委員会主催の青少年英語スピーチコンテスト、長時間にわたりご参加いただきましてありがとうございます。出場された12名の学生の皆様、それぞれ素晴らしいスピーチをありがとうございました。緊張された方もいたかもですけれど、皆様本当に素晴らしかったです。お疲れ様でした。このスピーチコンテストを楽しんでいただけましたでしょうか。そしてライオンズクラブ YC 委員会は来年もこの青少年英語スピーチコンテストを開催いたします。次回も必ず皆様にご参加いただきたくお待ちしております。来年もぜひ参加のほどよろしくお願いいたします。そして委員会本来の青少年海外交換交流プログラムも今年の冬季から再開する予定です。これを機会に、青少年海外交換交流プログラムの、交流改正として、各校の生徒様がライオンズクラブを通して世界を見る機会としてワクワク楽しんで、そしてふるってご参加いただけることを願っております。また皆様とお会いできるのを私たち YC 委員会一同楽しみにしております。よろしくお願いいたします。最後に衆議院議員石原弘隆先生、そしてライオンズクラブ国際協会第 330A 地区、地区ガバナー、増田正明ガバナー、そしてガバナーエレクト安倍加奈子ライオン、次期第一地区ガバナー杉原翔吾ライオン、さらには各学校の先生方、父母の皆様には心より感謝申し上げて閉会といたします。ありがとうございました。
以上をもちまして本日のプログラムはすべて終了となります。なお最後になりますが、増田正明ガバナー、また横浜港馬車道ライオンズクラブの加藤正道ライオンからドネーションもいただいております。ありがとうございました。感謝いたします。最後にですね、発表者全員で、記念撮影を行います。発表者の皆さん、審査委員の皆さん、また来賓の皆様は一緒に撮影を行いますので、壇上の方にお願いいたします。 また前の方の席はずらしますので、ご自身でお荷物やペットボトルなどはお持ちいただけたらと思います。皆様ありがとうございました。